Hey team, happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's week is off to a great start. Time for another edition of Training Tip Tuesday with me, Coach Coral from Team Babe Athletics. So we've been getting a lot of questions recently about how to start over. How do we get unstuck? How do we get out of a rut? How do we find our momentum and our mojo? And so I wanted to pull back a little bit and just talk about 5 steps that are simple. No, I'm not saying they're easy, but 5 simple steps to give you a framework if you're feeling like you're kind of in this space. And I know that, again, we've been talking a lot about different topics and themes throughout this year that really highlight the crazy world that we're still trying to operate and navigate through. And so I think it's really important to revisit these steps that we can kind of bring our sense of self back to who we really are, and maybe rediscover some of that spark and that pizzazz that truly makes us who we are, but somehow seems to get lost in the shuffle in times like these. So the first step to getting unstuck is to recognize where you're at, and to make peace and forgive yourself with whatever space you may find yourself in. So if you have been in a rut, if you've been off training for a few months, even most of the year, that's okay. It's really okay, because we all have these crazy seasons in our life where we kind of dip low, but that sets you up for an amazing comeback. So instead of sitting around beating yourself up, recognize where you're at, make peace with where you're at, but don't get comfortable there, okay? So there's a difference between just accepting, okay, this is the space I'm starting from, recognize you're starting from there, and then giving yourself that sort of tough love to go, okay, this is where I'm putting my stake in the ground, and the next step forward is a step towards action, okay? So step number two, once you've recognized that this is the headspace and the flow that you're currently in, is finding what inspires you. Journaling really helps with this. Thinking back and doing a reflective exercise, or several, over the course of a few days, even a week, just to, remember what are you doing when you're at your best? Is it creativity? Is it walking? Is it enjoying a sunrise? Is it swimming? What brings you joy? What fills your cup with this joyful, creative, bright, sunshiny energy? Like, what is that for you? And it looks different for everyone. So in order to raise yourself up, find what brings you joy, find what inspires you, and commit to doing just a little bit more of that each day. All right. So step 3 is using that positive energy, that sort of mental energy that you're conjuring up, to create energy, to move forward. And step 4, creating action. So you're using this momentum to help you overcome inertia, which is just that state of being still and inactive. You've got to, if you're thinking back to high school physics, you've got to overcome this activation energy that is required to overcome inertia and put yourself into a state of motion, a state of progress. So instead of, if you are really just somebody that detests running, picking running as your step 1 to reinitiate moving forward probably is not going to be super inspiring. However, if you love jujitsu, or you love riding your bike, or you love chasing your kids around the playground, use the things that inspire you to lower the activation energy required to put yourself in motion. So, step 5. And this is what I think sometimes we get a little squirmy, but putting systems and putting structure in place that encourage you to stay in motion. So that the warm fuzzy that we get from starting something new, starting a new adventure, setting goals, and kind of checking off those little goals, that warm, fuzzy, super awesome energy that you leap out of bed, you might find that 1 or 2 days right at the beginning of your journey, but it does wear off. I hate to say that, but that is just the truth of it, long and short. There's no magic to staying in motion except for creating a structure and a routine in your day that really promotes you staying in motion and simply creating this habitual progress for yourself. And that's not to say that you won't have days that things catch on fire, or that things go sideways, but kind of operating under that 80-20 rule, or that 80-20 commitment. I like to use the word commitment more than rule, but you're committing to yourself to try and stick with whatever flow, routine, habit, structure that allows you the self-discipline to achieving those small daily goals that help move you towards action, towards motion, towards whatever goal it is that you're setting for yourself to re-engage with life and with progress. And it's really that simple. It is not easy. And I will say that having support, people you can reach out to that will help pull you up. You know, maybe they're on their step 5 and they've kind of been in that space for a while, but they're accustomed to you being there with you, but they've noticed that you've kind of dropped back and fallen off. Call those people that will support you and help pull you back up alongside them, and so you can walk forward together towards all these goals. And that's really why we have Team Babe, is so that we can support each other in whatever goal it is that we're chasing, whether it's triathlon or just being our most badass selves every day, because that looks different in different seasons of life. So if you are feeling discouraged, this message is for you. I want you to start. I want you to get a journal, whether it's paper and pen, whether it's your phone, diary, voice memo, whatever works for you. But put your stake in the ground. Just follow these 5 steps. It doesn't all have to be done today. It doesn't have to be done by next week. But put your stake in the ground, recognize where you're at, and start putting those steps, putting those paces forward in motion that bring you back to who you are. Joyful, sunshiny, pizzazzy, full of energy in life, so that you can re-engage with yourself and whatever awesome goals that you've got set forth. And so, action items, your challenge for today to get started. If this is the space you're in, write down a goal that inspires you. Call 2 people that will support you, will love on you, but will also hold you accountable along the way. If you need somebody, if you can't think of anybody, message me, message Coach Ray. That's seriously what we're here for and what we love to do. And then just chip away at it. It's not a big mountain if you move it 1 stone at a time. So I hope you guys are well. I hope you are joyful and finding a positive space. Have a great week. And a couple quick announcements. First off, congratulations to 2 of our babes that raced this past weekend. Whitney raced Fort DeSoto this past weekend and absolutely crushed it. PRs, I think, on the bike and the swim and maybe the run too. Walked away with first in her age group, which is incredible. Whitney, congratulations. And then also Danielle totally kicked butt, after managing a bunch of different life stuff like we all have been, but totally kicked butt at her sprint try this past weekend as well. So ladies, congratulations to both of you. And also, if you are in the Clearwater area, of course, today is Tuesday, so I'll be out at Sand Key Park. So come on out, swim, watch the sunset. It should be a nice one. And yeah, with that, I think that's officially a wrap. Have a fantastic Tuesday and stay badass. We'll see you later.